it's now time for us to talk literacy challenge. Yes, and we're receiving a lot of entries. And look, if you're a parent and you're watching right now, right, and your son or your daughter has not yet entered the competition, I don't know what you're doing. Seriously, all right? Because we keep saying that we need to hear the voices of the youth. We need to hear the voice of the young people, and they have opinions, and they're important. This is one of the ways of making that happen. Well, let me just introduce to you who's joined us on the set this morning. Chris, you want to do us the honors?
Right, and she knows how I'm going to introduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be nice. We have Apioko, who's the head of programs production right here at Channel One TV and also at City FM. Hello. Apioko.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, you went very gentle.
She did. She did.
Today, I'm being nice.
After all the things you were, plotting and planning before the
Yeah.
cameras came back on. Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
So,
Good
Abby,
morning.
how are we doing? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm well.
Yeah?
I'm fine.
Good, good, good.
I'm very zen.
Okay,
She's
that's
been
nice.
zen
That's
forever
good.
these days.
Forever zen.
Yes.
So literacy challenge. Where are we? I know the deadline is fast approaching.
It
We've
is.
just got a few more weeks to go. Where are we in terms of entries that have come in terms of preparation? I mean, look, if it's anything like the previous years, there's going to be crazy numbers for marking
Absolutely.
essays and all of that. What can you
Absolutely. So we made the big announcement a little less than a month ago. It was the 15th of May or so?
tell us? Yes.
Yes, 15th or 16th of May. Today is the 12th of June. So over the last almost 4 weeks or so, look, you said you don't know what parents and guardians are doing if their children or their wards haven't entered the competition yet. But I'm sure people are writing.
Yeah.
The topic seems very simple, but of course, the kinds of young people who enter the literacy challenge, if I know them very well, and I'm not sure that will change this year, they like to do their research. And it tells, and that's what makes the essays beautiful and very insightful, right? So I'm sure they're doing their research, but we have started receiving entries. And I must say that, if you're the first person to submit, it doesn't mean that
You have won.
your stakes are any higher or that you've won. No, that's
it's
not what
true.
it means. But we have started receiving entries. Funnily enough, none of the entries so far have come from the Greater Accra region.
Okay.
Ooh.
No.
Interesting.
We've got from Central, we've
Okay.
got from Eastern, we've got from Buno, not from the Greater Accra
Oh,
region
wow.
yet.
Okay.
So I know, and usually, and that makes me happy because, a lot of people, even as we're promoting on social media, we're coming on air to talk about the literacy challenge, people keep reaching out and asking, is it only for Accra? It is
Right.
not. It is a nationwide competition.
Okay.
The only caveat is that you have to be a JHS student or be doing the equivalent of a JHS program. You don't even have to be of Ghanaian nationality, but you
Okay.
should be in a school in
Resident,
Ghana, going through the system, going through this educational space. That's what it is. And we are looking for the most outstanding all-round JHS
I
student.
like that part.
All round. And that is why we're doing the literacy challenge in the first place. I keep saying, and I can't say it enough, I'll keep repeating it, that literacy in 2024, it's not just about reading and writing anymore.
Yeah.
You can no longer say, I know how to read, I know how to write, I am literate, and I've arrived. You can't do that. You just had a conversation with Guido, from DW, and you heard what he said, that look, in the near future, and it's very near because we are seeing it unfold before our eyes, we won't need studios to do the kinds of productions that we do. In fact, now even here at Channel One TV, we do a lot of location things. We do a lot of Aprotech because that's where the industry has
Things are
moved
moving,
towards. There's more reality. People crave to know what's happening behind the scenes, and that has become the content.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand technology, you don't understand the culture within which you live and how it's evolving, what people are looking for, what people need, and then you can't place that within the global context, you've lost the plot.
Yeah.
And you are very unlikely to succeed. We're talking about agribusiness this week in the City Business Festival. And one of the big conversations is urban, backyard, and greenhouse farming. Because we are saying that we need to farm, we need food security. I know Chris is very passionate about that. In the conversations about climate change, sustainability, we've done that with APSA this month. the big conversation is we need food security, but not everybody wants to be in their hometown and farm. Unfortunately, we've not made it seem very prestigious to be in agric.
And that's the problem.
But if you live in the city, can you not farm?
Exactly.
And so urban farming, what does that mean? How can you get into it? How can it be lucrative? How can it be a second income? So all these things, that's literacy. Now, our young people form about 70%, 70 to 75% of our population. I'm talking about below 35 years of age. None of us here fall in that bracket. No, I mean, that's what it is.
That's a reality.
And that is the bulk of our population. So we can't say that the youth is the future. They are actually the present. If you look around us, now we have younger CEOs, younger middle-level managers, younger entrepreneurs. People are getting married younger again. There's a time when, child, if you're a woman, then 40, if you want to have a career, you're getting married at 40 or 45, right? Before you even start thinking about having kids and a family. Now, it's reversed again. People are getting married younger. They're chasing their dreams. They're more passionate. So we want to know what these young people are thinking. And that's why we have the topic that we do. And I'm going to read it out just to reiterate, because it's a very powerful topic. So we're saying, in not less than 600 words, write about the role of the youth in shaping the future of Ghana. What changes would you like to see? And how can young people contribute to making them happen? I'll take it one more time. In not less than 600 words, write about the role of the youth in shaping the future of Ghana. What changes would you like to see? And how can young people contribute to making them happen? Very powerful topic, because we have not really involved the youth in national conversations. We tend to think that, even
they're
when
young, they don't understand.
Even when we're talking about JHS students, they're children. They are not children.
No.
Exactly.
They are young people. And I'm always very careful about that. Chris, you've got a young person in your house. David, you have a young person for a daughter. They are so intelligent. And sometimes the things that they say, you're even wondering, why didn't I think about that?
Exactly.
You know, and now they're asking you questions and like, hey, am I really the parent here? You know, very intelligent. So let's listen to them. Let's hear them. Maybe we are just disconnected from what we need to do. There's a lot of young people are losing hope in Ghana. But maybe if we give them a voice and we listen to what will work from their perspective and we employ some of those things, they'll have some hope again. And I think that's very important. You know? So you see, the literacy challenge is more than an essay competition and 10,000 Ghana cedis and a trophy at the end of the road. What we are trying to do is, we're saying that our educational system, unfortunately, generally does not really churn out young people or citizens who are well-rounded. They are holistic. So if you have a science conversation with them, they are okay. You have an economics conversation with them, they are fine. You move to culture, creative arts, they are settled. Language, on point. A lot of the time, we create very one-dimensional human beings.
Exactly.
But
because mostly everything is true and poor. In our educational system here.
I mean, I'm happy to see, though, that now you look at the GES curriculum, because, you know, we have to work a lot with the curriculum when we're doing the literacy challenge. And, you know, I love education, as we do at ChannelOne TV and City FM. And I see that there are changes happening to the curriculum.
Coming up,
You know, now a lot of community service is becoming a conversation, so that by the time you graduate from high school or the university, you realize that I'm not just getting these certificates to go and get a job and make money and feed myself and a family that will come later. I'm learning these things so I can also give back to society. I have a responsibility to groom my society for the benefit of myself, yes, but also the greater good, so we can also compete on a global level.
So some of the entries that have come in, have you peeped into it?
Oh, of course.
And how are they looking?
Look, one of the big conversations, and again, it's so uncanny that this thing is happening in the week of agribusiness conversations. One of the main things that we're seeing, they're asking for proper roads. A proper road network so that we can have less post-harvest loss. These are JHS students. And I don't blame them, because the 3 scripts that I've seen that really touch on this, these people live in farming communities from what they presented and from where they say they are writing from. So they're seeing it, that the road is so bad.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
why we
it's
cannot get
raining,
from one point
yes,
to one
if
point.
it's raining, we can't send our yam, we can't send our plantain.
Yeah.
It's stuck. And what happens? It will rot.
Yeah.
So they're asking for better road network for less post-harvest loss.
Right.
That's
And then on
amazing.
the same tangent, one student has spoken about silos.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
how we are storing
Yeah.
our grains, you know, so that again we can reduce the decay after harvest,
Yes.
and then maybe package and export or put onto our local market or
Wow.
whatever it is. They're also asking for our leaders to be more vigilant in paying attention to what the youth is learning in school.
Because they're beginning to understand that,
They
yes, there's a
understand.
problem.
Okay.
We
They
can do better.
understand.
Right.
They understand. One of the big things that's popping up is technology. Some of them are saying that in 2024, it is not right that if you are learning ICT, you don't
have
get
computers.
to see a computer.
Yeah, yeah.
So the way they say we have to imagine what a computer looks like.
And that's
I
sad.
can't believe how long
that's
we've gone
sad,
down
yeah.
that road for.
And
you
that's
know?
sad.
But you see, we have our own economic challenges. But I think that maybe prioritizing. We need to prioritize some of these things. I know of, again, we're talking about STEM schools, we're talking about digitalization as a nation and whatnot. But you see, we have an advantage. A lot of these young people, and again, Accra is not Accra, Ghana is not Accra. Yeah, Accra is not Ghana, Ghana is not Accra. A lot of these young people, they're on TikTok, they're
True.
on Instagram.
So they can see.
Yeah, they can see. And they're wondering why they are not learning how to use
Yeah.
these tools
Yes,
properly, these
yes,
technological
yeah.
advancements properly in school.
Yeah.
Because you see, if you have access to the internet and you also haven't been taught how to apply knowledge to use it to your benefits or to the benefits of nation building, then it comes to cost 90.
That's nothing. Yeah.
It comes to naught.
Yeah.
You know, it comes to naught. So these are some of the things they are talking about. There was another essay, it was a young lady, and she spoke about how in where she comes from, people still think that young girls shouldn't go to school.
Oh, wow. That's
So for
heartbreaking.
her, when she
In
goes
2024?
yes, in 2024.
Wow.
So she said for her, when she goes to school, every day she has to prove herself, and like basically get people to see
Make
why.
make it worthwhile.
Yeah, see why she belongs in that
worthwhile for-
classroom.
Yeah.
Now she said that she doesn't think that she shouldn't be in school, but she thinks that we need to basically orient people's
Impulsive
minds
thinking,
to
yeah.
understand that we are partners in growing our nation. And she thinks that that conversation, yes, we've had campaigns and whatnot, but that conversation needs to be more dominant. And she says, if people, so she made a say, she said, if people see more female leaders, then they'll be likely to understand that young girls have to go to
Right,
school.
right.
I thought it was very
That's
interesting.
that's very
Very,
fascinating.
very, very
Because it's very
fascinating.
easy to think that, and we have made a lot of gains on the gender front, we have. But then you see, when you leave the urban areas,
Yeah.
it's a different story
Yeah.
in some
Completely.
spaces.
Yeah.
Completely.
It's a different
They
story
don't
in some
see it.
spaces.
Yeah.
They don't see it. So those are some of the things that have come up. Very deep
Wow.
issues, deep issues.
Yeah, so gender equality,
deep issues.
agriculture, and all that. Yeah.
Very, and technology.
And technology by
Very
kids.
deep.
Well, they're not kids.
They're not kids.
Yeah.
They're not kids.
They're
They're
not
young
kids.
people.
Very
So
deep
so you
issues.
said that the deadline is the 13th of July.
The 13th of July.
After that, what happens?
Okay, so let me reiterate that the essay that young people are supposed to write, this is level 1 of the literacy challenge. It's in 3 levels. So after the 13th of July, we are not accepting any other essays. But the thing is, once you don't submit the essay, you can't make it to any of the other
Yeah.
levels. So on the 13th of July, after that, examiners will come together, they'll take all the entries, go through them, grade them. They're looking at things like your creativity, your authenticity, your mechanical accuracy, so your spelling, your grammar. They're looking at the kinds of research
Mechanical
that,
accuracy.
you know, does the essay lend itself, tell us that you've done research and you understand what you're writing about, and that's coming from you, all that. Now, when they've done that, they'll select the top 50 scripts. Now, all top 50 of these young people
When I head to
will-
level 2.
Exactly. So in level 2, it's an aptitude test.
Okay.
General knowledge,
Okay.
multiple choice questions. But there are also activities you have to do to answer some of the questions. Very interesting. Yes. Last year, for example, we through the benevolence of DEX technology,
Yes.
each of the 50 contestants was given parts of a digestive system. And
You had to- you had to
and
fix
you had
it,
to
yeah.
assemble it, and then now you answer questions
Based on what you've
that. So
assembled.
that's application of knowledge,
Yeah.
right? And some of them said that they had never even seeing what the digestive system looked like. And that was eye-opening for me, but not surprising. So after these top 15, we give all of them medals and certificates of participation, because if thousands of people have written essays and you make it to the top 50, that's a very big deal. Then from there, you have our top 10. That's level 3. Now, top 10, we go around, present them with medals, you know, of glory. And then they will come to a venue and then they compete in a live quiz, also general knowledge, application of knowledge. So you see why it's an all-round. You're looking for the all-round, most outstanding all-round JHS student in Ghana. Now, prior to the finale, in the few days leading to it, to this quiz, live quiz, usually we camp the top 10 and they get to interact. We do some confidence builders, just so that they understand that what we are doing is something that we should be proud of. And then they also sort of develop a different level of confidence that they can take into the finale. You meet a lot of young champions, young achievers, and they are not very confident in Ghana. You know, they're not very confident. So we do that public speaking, how to even think on your feet when a question comes. And these are skills that beyond the literacy challenge you can carry with you. So that's basically what it looks like. And then when we have a winner, 10,000 Ghana cedis and a glitzy trophy.
Of course, and the bragging rights as well.
Absolutely.
You can show off for a whole year that
Massive
you're the best JHS student in the country. So I think it sounds very exciting, and I'm looking forward to us receive. Do you have any entries so far that, you know, because one of the suspicions, you know, we say that it should be in your own handwriting. One of the suspicions is in
because
this modern
AI,
day, you know, AI can jump in the mix and, you know, students.
Well, for the ones that I've looked at, I haven't seen anything that looks
AI-ish,
untoward. No, I haven't. And believe me, I will know if I see it. And I'm sure our examiners, even more so, will be able to fish it out. You know, in the last few months, I've judged for a couple of poetry prizes. Akaya and then the Adinkra Poetry Prize. Oh, AI, plenty. Whoa. Oh, yes. And I would just, you know, fish it out. So, no, this is AI generated. You can tell. You can tell. For those of us who have been doing this for a while, we know what we're looking for. And, you know, sometimes you'd be tempted to think that something that's been written by a student is actually AI, but there are always ways of knowing. The professionals know. Our examiners have been teaching for years. They're used to this thing. And they are AI and tech savvy. So they know. Good. You know, so, but no, so far, the ones that I have viewed, I haven't come across anything that looks fishy at all.
Any big thank yous you want to do, you know, for Literacy Challenge? Oh,
absolutely. So we have our sponsors, and look, pulling off the Literacy Challenge and the gamut of things that come with it, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of logistics, a lot of money, if we're being honest. And so I want to say a very big thank you to the Ghana Gas Company, who have come on board for, I think this is the 4th time consecutively. Very grateful to them. A Life Soap.
They too have been coming.
Can't say thank you enough. Fortune Spread. Thank you to them. We also have Weeby Biscuits by M4 Foods. This is their 2nd time on board as well. Very, very grateful to them. Any company in the times that we are in, and don't forget that the economic challenges we are facing, not just Ghana. It's continental, it's global. And so any company that says, I'm taking X amount out of my my budget, my operational cost, all that, to give to you to do this, we can't say thank you enough.
Fantastic, fantastic.